Hello everyone and welcome back. First of all, we just want to say a huge thank you because we have been overwhelmed with the response to our last video and our little tiny house tour in Portugal. The number of people who have viewed it, the number of people who have commented, and the absolutely lovely comments that you've made have completely overwhelmed both I and Darren. So we just wanted to start this one by saying a huge thank you to everybody. It's really touched us. Lovely comments from all over the world, from the UK, Europe, Portugal, USA, Canada, India, Australia, everywhere. Thank you very much. So we thought we would answer a lot of the questions that came in the comments, because we've had many questions that a lot of people asked and the odd question that only one or two people asked. So we thought this was a good opportunity to actually come and answer the questions that have been asked.
So our first question was, why did you choose Portugal? What we thought that was over and above Spain, Bulgaria, any other country, France. Why did we specifically choose Portugal?
Well, I think our first influence really way back was when we watched Julia Bradbury on the television, and she did like a 10k holiday home, and she actually did go to Portugal, to central Portugal, and did a fair bit of travelling around and went to Porto, and we liked the look of that. So literally we just made our next holiday, let's go to Portugal. Yeah,
it was our first inspiration, I suppose, as to that part of the world. Julia Bradbury's an English television presenter. Presents television shows in England, and the little programme that she made at the time was called, did you mention it? Your 10k holiday home. And she made that in her home was in Garda, which is just not far from where we are.
North from where we are.
North from where we are, not very far north. So that was our first insight, I suppose, into that area.
So that really set us off on a bit of a internet search as well, and then we just went to Portugal on holiday, and that was it. After that, we loved the country, the people, the food, the wine, the travelling,
the coffee.
The coffee.
Don't forget
amazing
the coffee.
Amazing coffee, yes, amazing coffee.
Yeah.
So
I think that sold it to me. First time I've ever drunk black coffee. The first time I've ever liked black coffee, and it was absolutely beautiful. And that sold Portugal to me.
Yeah. So our next question was, did we buy our tiny house in an abandoned village? Is it a ghost town? And then we did have a lot of questions about what our neighbours are like. Do you want to say?
So no, the town is not abandoned. It's not a ghost town. There are a few families living locally. We have a Portuguese family, quite a young Portuguese family just next door, an English family just up the road, Dutch. Couple of Dutch families, and a Portuguese, a couple of Portuguese,
and some people from France.
France. So we got quite a few people just in that little bit that you saw, in that little village area that we were standing filming that film. Just in that little area was quite a lot of people, but they're all indoors because it was when we filmed it, it was midday. And it was 37 degrees centigrade.
In the middle of August.
In the middle of August. So very, very hot day, and everybody was sensible except for us, and they all stayed indoors. So what are the neighbours like? Yeah, we've met most of them, and they've all been very, very helpful and lovely and friendly and welcoming and all of the things one would hope. Genuinely helpful.
Yeah, definitely. And on the odd occasion that we had like a problem with not being able to speak Portuguese to some of the older residents, then it was a quick knock on a door and someone else would come out, and between us and perhaps Google Translate, we would then work through whatever it is that we were trying to ask, and quite often ended up with quite a few people chatting,
in the street.
offers of help for work, like with the house, if you need any tools or whatever. And then you actually ended up with a basket of vegetables. So Darren got a garden tour and a basket of vegetables as well. So everybody absolutely welcoming and friendly and happy that more life was coming into the village.
More life into the village. I think that's the important thing, isn't it? Because it is very quiet, which is the reason we like it. We like it because it's so quiet. We like it because it's a ghost town, although it's not. But we like it for those reasons.
That's
why we want to go there. Absolutely. So that's that one.
And one person did ask, was our house haunted?
Oh yes, talking about a ghost town.
No, we don't think it is. Certainly not big enough to house anybody else other than us three.
No, it's only a small house, not enough space.
But we'll let you know if it is. Our next question was, why did we bother buying a house when we already owned some land? And I suppose it's just like most things, it just sort of developed as an idea. It's a couple of years since we bought the land, and the house we'd seen many times when we'd walked through the village, and it was just so beautiful. And then we had this really great opportunity with the changes that we'd made, with me selling my business and both of us sort of retiring. So we just decided that that's what we would do. We see the house as an investment, not a monetarily investment, because it's not worth very much, and we honestly don't think it's going to be worth very much more once we've done what we want to do to it. But it is an investment in our family, because our family are more likely to come out and stay with us, rather than saying, hey, come and camp on the field. They come and stay with us. We have a house with a kitchen and a bathroom. They're more likely to come and stay with us then, aren't they? Yes, they are.
So the next question we were asked was about how old we are. One person particularly commented pensioners, ? So yeah, we're both 55 years old. We both have our birthdays in May, and we're just 2 days apart. So we're not necessarily the stereotypical pensioner, and we did choose our name, Pensioners in Portugal, with a bit of a smile there as well. But technically, we are pensioners. I suppose technically we are. So.
What are your priorities? So a lot of people asked, are you going to do the house first? Are you going to work on the land? This is what I would do. So, yeah, what are our priorities, Darren?
Oh, so you're asking me, sorry. So our priorities first are getting the land sorted, so that we can live on the land whilst we're renovating the house.
So we've said that we want to build a nice big deck, sort of outside and around our minibus, and that will give us just somewhere really nice and comfy to go, and plenty of space while we're working on the house and working on the land, because I think in with doing that, we also would like to get some fruit trees in, and obviously they're going to take a long time to establish, so we need them in as soon as possible. So there are two main priorities.
Yeah. The land won't take very long. We're not going to, you know, that's kind of like something we're planning on doing in the next couple of weeks' time. Once that's done, then we can be settled on the land and comfortable on the land, and we can then start work on the house, or at least organising work on the house.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are our our plan.
And then we're going to work on the house.
Uh-huh.
And a lot of people also mentioned our little sheds of our freebie, that more or less that we got with the house.
Yeah.
That's going to be put on the back burner. Got lots of ideas, and loads of people sort of said, oh, make it into an Airbnb, make it into a guest house,
really
make it
good.
into an outside bathroom, a wet room, all kinds of different things.
Great
so there's
ideas.
loads of ideas just all swirling around at the moment. But really, we're just going to
we're not really thinking
get
about
on with all of the mammoth tasks that we have.
Yeah, we're not really thinking about the shed and all the other bits at the moment. But yeah, we've definitely got a project ahead of us, that's for sure. Yep.
One of the other main questions that people asked, are you, Darren, going to do all the work yourself?
Am I going to do all the work myself? No. We're going to try and do as much as we can ourselves. We do need a little bit of advice from a builder. There is some structural work we want to do on the house. We just want to be sure that we're not going to make the house fall down, at least. So we're going to get a little bit of advice, and we're going to get a builder in just to kind of help us with bits and bobs, because we're not builders. No. But we're definitely going to try and do as much as we can by ourselves. Yeah, because we're definitely on a budget. That's another thing I don't think we've mentioned. Yeah. We're on quite a tight budget. A lot of people think we're going to make it into a luxury accommodation. We're definitely not making it into a luxury accommodation. It's going to be just a nice little place for us to go every now and then. Simple, very simple, clean, easy
to manage.
Yeah.
We had a few comments about marble bathroom, and we put a swimming pool in.
Yeah.
No.
No, it's not going to be a swimming pool. There's not going to be a marble bathroom. No, it's going to be very straightforward, very basic, but very comfortable is the plan. Yeah.
We're hoping to keep a lot of sort of the Portuguese vibe.
Yeah,
that's what
definitely.
we like, hence going to Portugal.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So the next question was, what are you going to do with the house? So what specifics are we going to do? So are we going to put a bathroom here or a kitchen there? We did talk very little about it on the video before, but all of your comments, loads of comments that we've had have suggested do this or do that, and we've come up with a couple of ideas. So what I'll do is I'll put them into the video just now, give you an idea of what our thoughts and plans are.
So in my Best Blue Peter drawings, I have some I've prepared earlier. So this is the original layout of the house. This is the front, so that's the gate and the little wall, and then you come in through the front door. These are the internal walls, everything as existing, and the little window at the back. Nothing is square, nothing is dead straight. It was built in 1937. So our first idea on option 1 is to take down this wall here to open that room, so all of this is open from front to back. So that will become our kitchen. There'll be space for a small table and a couple of chairs, a little sofa and a chair, and hopefully perhaps like a wood burning stove at some point in the future. Keep this room as it is, and that will become our bathroom, and then take down this internal wall to make one bedroom, and hopefully put in another window to match the small little window we already have. Second option here, so leaving the kitchen as it is, so it's a separate room, but removing this internal wall and the majority of this wall here to make an open plan bedroom, living room. Same thing again, putting in another window, then a separate bathroom. They both work for us. What tends to happen is I like to go to bed early and read. Darren stays up and listens to music. Then I get up early on the morning and I make a cup of tea. Darren stays in bed. So this option for me works really good. We both have our own space, but equally haven't got a problem with this one. You've got a nice big cosy back room that is partially walled off, but you can see your bedroom from the living room and vice versa. What do you think? We also had a couple of comments, more comments than questions, about whether or not there was mould on the walls in the house. No, there definitely isn't, and we understand why a few people did sort of mention this. The lighting wasn't great. There's no obviously lights in there yet, but there was differences, sort of shaded areas, darker areas than others, and it's just where work had been done previously on the house. So that it was the difference in the colour of the concrete and the plaster. So the house is very dry, no mould at all. So yeah, nothing to worry about there.
No, but thank you for your concern.
Yeah, thank you very much. We also did have lots of comments because our initial thoughts were about to be off-grid, completely off-grid, no electricity, no water, no nothing. And we're sort of having different thoughts about that at the moment, because we think we might just have the electricity supplied to the house. We know it's very close, it's just in the street, and we think really it'll just make life a lot easier, especially while the work is going on. So that's one of the thoughts.
We also feel, somebody did mention on one of the comments, that we may not have enough space on our roof to put solar panels on. We don't have any land around the house, which was another question we had. We don't have any land around the house at all. That's fine for us because we've got 2 acres of land just up the road, so we don't necessarily want any other land. But it does cause us slight concerns, is that we don't have space to put solar panels, things like that. So these are still thoughts in the process at the moment.
We also had questions about water and sewerage, because obviously there's no kitchen or bathroom in there, and we are more or less sure that we're not going to have water supplied into the house, because all the villagers have like a water fountain or a place to get fresh water from, and we sort of feel that we can do things in the house, in the kitchen and the bathroom, that will, one, help us not have to have a water bill or a sewerage bill, and that will sort of make big savings on our budget, because our budget is very small.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because once you start putting water in the house, you have to find ways of getting rid of that water, and that's a concern we have as well. So we're going to be using composting systems, is the thought that we have at the moment. We do have, as mentioned, a piece of land up the road where we can build a compost system for our waste, and that's the plan. And saving any wastewater that we have, we can also use on the land as well. So yes, so we're not necessarily going to get connected up to the water at all, no.
And the most asked question that we had was obviously, how much did your house cost? A lot of people asked this question, so I'm going to hand you over to Darren, who's done a very simple breakdown of what we spent so far and what our likely budget is to be.
Here's a breakdown of what we paid for the house. So we paid €6,000 for the house itself. We paid €500 for the notary, which is like a solicitor or a lawyer. We had to register the property. That was €250. because we weren't in Portugal when we purchased or signed for the house, we weren't going to be in Portugal, we also decided to pay for a power of attorney to do that on our behalf. So an additional cost to us was that €250, and we had to pay taxes as well of €108. That in itself brings us a total of €7,108 for the house. We have given ourselves a budget for the house renovation, a total budget of €10,000, including the cost of the house. So after purchasing, we have a remaining €2,902.
So I think we're going to leave it there. So thank you very much again for all of the lovely comments that you gave us on the last video, and if you've made it this far, then why not subscribe, give us a thumbs up, certainly comment. It's helped us pull together a lot of really good ideas, and we'll see you next time round. Thank you very much.
Now he's quiet. Now he says nothing. Nothing at all.